Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. Today we're going to make a very frugal soup, and that's my dogs running back and forth. They start doing that every time I start recording. So if you hear a little patter of little toenails on the wooden floor, that's 3 dogs. Alright, so what we're going to do is make a very frugal soup out of the large lima beans. Now I cooked those a couple of days ago and I've just heated them up in another pot. And let me just turn this down so you can see. What I'm going to do is, I've got my burner on high to start with. I'm just going to add a little extra virgin olive oil. And the beans have already got salt and a little olive oil when I cooked them a couple of days ago. We had that for a meal. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to cook some green bell peppers, and that's about a cup. These were previously frozen. I took them out of the freezer about an hour ago. Red bell peppers, and even the celery was frozen. So that's probably, I don't know, half a cup of just chopped celery. And this is 1 medium onion. So I'm just going to dump that in. And we're going to cook these for probably about 20 minutes. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Alright, so after we cook these for about 20 minutes, we're going to start adding the other ingredients. Alright, so after these cook, we'll be back. Okay, my peppers, onions, and celery have cooked down quite a bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic. Now this is sliced garlic from 1 whole garlic bulb, so that's quite a bit of garlic. But we're not putting any meat in this, so we want it to have a lot of taste. I'm not going to cook it long like this with that garlic in there. But I like to run across, little bits of garlic. I love garlic. So I'll just go ahead and slice this. Just cook that just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put some salt in this. That's going to make those vegetables sweat down even more. So we're going to continue sauteing this for about 5 more minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, the vegetables I sauteed for about 5 more minutes with the garlic in there and salt. So now we're going to add some kale. Now this is not the container the kale came in. It came in a great big bag, but I washed it and took out all those big stems and broke it into smaller little pieces like that. Alright, so I'm going to dump those right in on top of all these vegetables. I'm going to go ahead and add a cup of water. And we're going to steam this kale for about maybe 20 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, I already checked the kale, and it's already tender. Now, that happens in about 10 minutes when you take all those big stems out. Alright, so now we're ready to add the next ingredient, which is going to be tomatoes. Now, these were organic tomatoes that we grew in our own garden last year, and this is the last carton I have of them. But I went ahead and put it in the Vitamix to grind up all the seeds so it'd make it real smooth, almost like tomato paste. Tomato sauce, a little thinner really than what you would buy in the store. But if you were buying your tomatoes, I would say grind them up in the blender and then put them in. So that would be probably about 2 cans, 2 15-ounce cans. So I'm going to dump that in. Just get that a stir around. Alright, so now we're ready. These are the beans I cooked a couple of days ago, and we had 1 meal off of them. And I went ahead and heated those up. So these are those large lima beans. We're going to go ahead and dump all of those in. Just stir that around a bit. Get that all mixed up. All right, now I'm going to give it a little taste just to see how it is, just of the sauce. It's good. All right, so we're going to simmer this a little longer, maybe another 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm going to add the last and final ingredients, so we'll be back then. All right, we are back and ready for our final ingredient, and it might be a surprise to you. I'm going to put a little handful of dates. Now, they're going to look like meat. And what happens is, just put a little, about like that, handful in. They're going to sweeten up the soup, and they look like meat. That's what they look like. And unless you tell somebody, they might not even know that's what was in there. Now, I also sometimes use raisins, because I usually don't even have dates, so raisins work really well too, so you get that little bit of sweet taste in there, and you don't quite know what it is. All right, so I've already cut my burner off. We're just going to let this sit here and kind of let those flavors marinate, and the dates will just plump up a little bit, and we'll serve this for lunch with some garlic toast, and when I get that ready, we'll be back. All right, we are ready to eat. Here's the soup. Let me see if you can see. I think that's a little bit of the little date right there. See, it just looks like meat. Here's mine. There's some dates right there and there. Anyway, when you get them in your mouth, you really don't quite know what they are, but they add just ever the slightest amount of sweetness to the soup. Let me back up. And so we're having this with some garlic toast, which I made using olive oil this time instead of butter. There's Mr. Bucky's plate. All right, we've got our tea already in the den, and we're going to eat this right in front of the TV watching the news. All right, I hope you'll try this soup. It's very, very healthy and a great meal for Meatless Monday. All right, we will see y'all next time.